Hi there, I'm Natasha, and this is Always Be Crafting, and I'm here to do my June roundup. Today is actually July 1st. How did that happen? How is it already July? I have no idea. But that's how time works, right? It just keeps on trucking. So June, I want to talk about all the things I make in the month of June, right? And June has two of my very favorite makes because June is the month that both of my boys were born. I know I shouldn't count those as makes, especially since I made them 19 and 16 years ago. But we did get celebrations this month. So this month we celebrated birthdays. So I will pop in pictures of birthday cakes. The first one, my youngest son, his birthday's at the beginning of the month, and he wanted a triple-decker strawberry cake. So basically what we did, we took my mom's strawberry cake recipe, which is for a bundt cake. And he's not a big fan of bundt cakes, but he loves my mom's recipes. My mom passed away when he was a baby, so he has no memory of my mom at all. He was 11 months old when, unfortunately, cancer took her from us. But he loves her through her recipe book. She had handwritten a recipe book for me when I got married, and my son, my youngest one, loves baking. Not so much like regular cooking, but baking. So he and I do a lot of baking, and he loves to go through my mom's recipe book and we bake things. So a couple months ago, he had found her recipe for the strawberry cake, and I had said, well, we have to wait till strawberries are in season. He came up with the idea, well, strawberries are in season. Pause for phone. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, where was I? Okay, so strawberries are in season right now. And my son thought, well, great, I'll have her strawberry cake for my birthday. As we approached his actual birthday, I pointed out, this recipe is for a bundt cake. He's like, oh man, I don't like bundt cakes. So I said, we can make a different cake. He's like, no, I want Baba's cake. So he came up, this was his idea. He came up with a plan that we made like the Duncan Hines strawberry cake and my mom's strawberry cake, and we put them together. So hopefully I've already inserted a picture. If not, there should be a picture right now of that cake because it was a triple-decker cake. And there was so much fresh strawberry. I mean, strawberries galore on this cake. And I made buttercream frosting for it because he loves buttercream frosting with vanilla extract. I didn't have like any vanilla beans. So that was his birthday cake, and everyone loved it. We all agreed that my mom's cake was a little bit better. Sorry, Duncan Hines. But the Duncan Hines strawberry cake is a solid strawberry cake. If you're really craving strawberry cake and it's not strawberry season, that's a solid strawberry cake. All right. So then I'll talk about my other son's birthday really quick because his birthday was later in the month, but he had this idea. He said, Mom, what if we made a Skittles cake? So I thought, okay, Skittles, so we're just decorating with Skittles. He's like, no. You know how we have those Skittles drink packets? I'm like, yeah, like Crystal Light. They're like, they're powder and you just add them to water and they make your water taste like Skittles. He's like, what if we added those to the cake mix? Why not? So the bottom layer was a yellow cake. This was my mistake. If you're going to do this, do a white cake, okay? Don't do the yellow because of color. So the bottom layer was a yellow cake with grape, and it looks gray. If I had done a white cake, maybe it would have been purple. But because it was a yellow cake with grape, it looked gray. And then the top layer was a red velvet cake with strawberry Skittles mix. So red velvet cake already is red. So it looked really, really red with the strawberry, but it did have like a strawberry flavor. It was actually delicious. The grape cake wasn't bad. Like we all thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be too sweet. It actually was not bad at all. But I think the red velvet with the strawberry, if I had to pick a winner, that was my favorite. Anyways, and then in between those was vanilla frosting with mini Skittles between the two layers. And then on top of the whole thing was chocolate frosting with regular Skittles. Of course, I didn't get a picture of the cake before. Just life got busy and I didn't get a before picture. So I took a picture of after the cake had been like halfway eaten. So I'm very sorry that this is not an attractive picture that should have been up right now. But it was pretty delicious, actually. So I made them and they helped me make their cakes. So that's pretty good for June, right? So that's the beginning. All right, now for things I made in my craft room, which is in my basement. I have to invest, not only do I have to invest in a better camera because I'm recording this on my phone, but I have to invest in lighting because I'm using the lighting that is like my work lighting so I can see my workspace, my sewing machine, my cutting mat, etc. And it's not terribly great for videos, so I apologize. Thank you so much for tolerating it, I guess. Hopefully it's not too annoying. All right, so in the beginning of the month, I started with adapting a Ferris fanny pouch, and it has been adapted so it can, this completely opens. So a regular Ferris fanny pack would not have this open. This would be a closed zipper. There's magnets, and you can put an entire ball, you can put, yarn inside, and then the magnets hold it up. You can cinch in the zipper, and your yarn can come out. You can wear it across your body or a fanny pack, and you can knit on the go or crochet on the go. I had a tester test it out, and she gave me some feedback, and the feedback was it does not need to zip all the way open, that if it just zipped like there and just opened on one side, that would be adequate. You did not need the whole flap coming open. So that was good information because that means it opens up the world of zippers because I don't have to have a separating zipper. So scratch my head, sorry. So that's a good thing. And also a little bit bigger. So I'm going to increase the pattern size a bit. And yeah, and I'm going to make another one of these in the month of July. I haven't had a chance. Even though I made this early in June, there have just been other projects that were kind of in the pipeline and in the works, that some of them had deadlines, and I wasn't able to increase the pattern size on this yet. Let's see. I also added, this is not in the pattern, but I also added a back zip. So there's more pocket space because basically once you add this zipper, it's just all one pocket now. You lose that additional zipper, you lose that additional pocket that the normal Ferris would have in this redesign. So I still wanted to have a secondary space for phone, crochet needles, whatever you want to put in there. I don't judge. Mints, gum, whatever. Okay, so that prototype, not bad. This is not as buttery soft as the last one I made. It's a really nice faux leather, but I think I liked the other one a little bit better. It was a little bit more buttery soft, a little easier to work with. This one's a little bit thicker, so I think I'm going to use my next prototype that I make. I think I'm going to do out of like cotton, like maybe just do quilting cotton for the next prototype. Make sure we get the sizing right. And then before I make the final bag for the friend that requested those changes. All right. The next thing I made was, I think the next thing, I might have the timing off. Don't judge. I made a drop zone. This is a ByAnnie pattern. If you've been here for a while, you know I love ByAnnie. So I put 2 of these things on. You don't need, the pattern doesn't call for 2 of them, but I chose 2. And it has been, yeah, my zipper's right there. It has been filled, so the drop zone opens flat. Once it's open, it sits very flat, which is awesome. And it has been filled with sewing machine feet. So this sits next to my sewing machine, which is off to the side over here. My old reliable sewing machine is in the shop because the person that fixes things, his vacation was on. He told me he was going on vacation. Unfortunately, the part that needed to be replaced didn't arrive before he left for vacation. So he's like, I'm so sorry. I'll have to fix it after I come back from vacation. I was like, it's okay. My new sewing machine, if you watched my other videos, I told you I got a new sewing machine. Love it. I love it. But my new sewing machine is handling like everything. Like I'm throwing everything at it. And it's just like, sure, no problem. It's amazing. All right. So that's the drop zone. There was a day where I was feeling a little stressed out. Who gets stressed? Anyways, I made a very quick rope basket. Just a little zigzag stitch. So I threw that together. I love it. It's very colorful. See, it was this. This is what I made it out of. This is from the Dollar Tree. So $1.25 for the rope. I was just walking down the Dollar Tree aisle and I saw pink and green. That's fantastic. I must make a rope basket. So I bought 2 spools. And once I made this one, I'm like, you know, that's a perfect size. And that was 1 spool. So I'll probably make another one just because I have another one. But it's very handy. It's a handy size rope bowl. So I have obviously a lot of stuff in it that I keep on my table. So it's going to good use. I love it. All right, another thing I made, let's see, next. I had been trying out this pattern called Specs Case. It's by So Hungry Hippie. And it is for like sunglasses. But I want to show you. This was when I had just gotten my new sewing machine and I said, I'm going to try everything on my new sewing machine. I'm going to try a little piecing. Look at that. Half square triangles, which are my nemesis. I am not the best at precision. One of the things I like about bag making is that you can have a little bit more, how do you say, a little bit more relaxation, you know, when you're making things that's not so precise. You know, I guess it's like the difference have you ever ridden a train in Europe? You know, it's the difference between catching a train in Switzerland and catching a train in Italy. You know, like in Switzerland, you are on time. That train is leaving on time. In Italy, it might leave on time and it's fine. I'm more Italian. Like, it's fine. Where quilting is more, I guess, like Swiss. You're like, it must be precise. I'm not very precise. But I was trying out my new sewing machine and I wanted to try it out. So I was trying out piecing and I wanted to try out my free motion quilting. And I wanted to try out different kinds of fabric. So I used my cuddle on the inside. So soft. I thought that's a nice inside for your glasses too, right? Keeps them protected. And, you know, zipper foot. It was like, this was, I think, the first thing I made on the new sewing machine. So it was all the different feet, you know, the free motion foot, the piecing foot, the zipper foot. Yeah, I was just like, let's try it all. And I made 2. So I had 1 little block left from this. So I made 10 blocks out of the fabric I had. And so this took 9 and this took 1. Isn't that cute? So this is Ruby Star Society fabric. Forgetting the line, but it has something to do with sunshine, like rise and shine or beautiful day, or I don't know. It reminds me of sunshine in some way. And then, of course, this is the starry fabric, which I'm obsessed with. And I have like another big old starry project, like off to the side that I'll talk about. I don't know if I'll talk about it in the month of July or if I'll talk about it in the month of August or the month of September. I do have a starry project coming up. It's a quilt. I bought a quilt kit, But I'm not going to talk about it too much right now because it's not something I made in the month of June. But it is something I bought in the month of June. Right now we're talking about things I made, not things I bought. Want to see something else I made? I made a hat. It's a big hat. Isn't it pretty? This is a canvas. It's not pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I'm blanking. I think it's Art Gallery is the maker. Inside is Moda Grunge. I love grunge. There's like so many different colors of Moda Grunge, and I've got a bunch of them. And it's really big. Want to see how big? This is how big it is. Hello. But I have a big head, so even if I have like my hair up in a bun, it still fits up inside. Only problem, I think, is that it matches my skin. Like, I'm so pink, and the hat is so pink. That's okay. I love it. I really love it. I think it's great. It's a great design. It is another So Hungry Hippie. Oh, did I say So Hungry Hippie pattern? Bardo bucket hat is this pattern. This was So Hungry Hippie specs case. This was ByAnnie drop zone. And this Ferris fanny pack was Sally Tomato. I don't think I said Sally Tomato before. I'll try to put everything down in my notes. Notes are the hardest thing. Writing notes for these videos is probably the hardest thing for me. I'm not gonna lie. All right, next. Okay, another ByAnnie. So I had done my slow along. I talked about it before. I finished 2 bags for my slow along. The slow along was for the bag called Travel Essentials 2.0. And if you saw any of my On Saturdays I Sew videos this month, I showed the 2 that I finished off. And one I'm going to have to put pictures of because it has been gifted and it is already in another country. The one with elephants has gone to Morocco, which I'm very excited. I'm excited for my friend who's in Morocco. I'm excited for the Travel Essentials elephant bag to go to Morocco. It's very exciting. I've never been to Morocco, but I love knowing that something I made is in Morocco, right? That's cool. Anyways, the other one I made is not yet gifted, is this one, the pink kitty cats. Another Ruby Star fabric. I know the designer on this one is Sarah Watts, and I don't remember the designer on these. I'm so sorry. But if you saw my On Saturdays I Sew, the problem was that I had accidentally put 2 D-rings together so they couldn't clasp. Well, I received in the mail yesterday I ordered and received in the mail yesterday carabiner. Are you ready to see? Look at this. Okay, so this is how it holds up. There's the bag and the carabiners. Look how cute. Look how cute that is. It's a heart. Isn't that sweet? Little heart-shaped carabiner to hold those 2 D-rings together. So now this can be slid over like a closet pole or a shower curtain rod or whatever you want to slide that over as you're traveling. That was my mistake. That was my mistake in making it. So the carabiner will just tuck inside on the secret strap, back into the pocket, back closed up, roll up the bag, and the D-ring that was supposed to be a lobster clasp and the lobster clasp that was supposed to be a D-ring, hook them back together, and it's all closed up and ready to go. So I'm hoping to finish very soon because my niece's birthday is in how many days? It's in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. It's the end of July. So I'm making this and a matching duffel bag for her birthday. But like I said, it's the end of July. So this is done and the duffel bag is in process. So hopefully I will be able to show you pictures because hopefully I'll have sent it before my July makes video. And maybe that'll be on one of those On Saturdays I Sew. Maybe I'll be showing you off the duffel bag getting finished. Fingers crossed. All right, next up. Okay, so not yesterday, a couple days ago, 2 days ago, was a Saturday. On Saturdays I sew, and I was working on my quilt blocks for my tester quilt blocks for my quilt along that starts today. Today is July 1st, so today starts the stamp quilt along. Again, try to put up a video, or not video, a picture of that. It is a free pattern. Well, the basic stamp block pattern is free. You can pay for an extended pattern that gives you more information, more tips and tricks, and more layout options, which I chose to do because the layout option I wanted was part of the paid package. But if you want the basic stamp block, it is a free pattern. So I highly suggest doing it because this fabric is just adorable. Here's my first one. This one is messy. Don't judge. It was a test. Okay. Do you see how messy that is? You can tell this was my first corner. It's probably the jankiest, the first one I did. And then you come around, and they do get better as you come around, but still not good. So my second one, you can tell my last corner was that one. So that one, which is actually the nicest, still not perfect, but the nicest. So it only took me 8 corners to get pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied. I'm still going to make probably at least another 2, I think, test blocks to make sure I'm really confident before I start cutting into my fabric for my quilt. Because, and you can also see, maybe you can't, this fabric is backwards. Here's the front of the fabric. My poor lucky cats. My poor little lucky cats. Oh well, it's cute. I'm still happy I did it. I think it's an adorable pattern to have this stamp stripe fabric and making these little postage stamps. But these mitered corners, whew, it's that Swiss precision again, man. I told you, I'm not precise. So it is flexing a skill that is not something I flex very often or practice very often. I just don't. Speaking of something I don't practice very often, I'm wearing a shirt. Hold on, let's see. Okay, I'll stand up really quick. I don't know what you're going to see, but here you go. Let's see what you can kind of see. It is, well, you can't see much because I'm too close to the camera and I can't get very far away from where I am. You can't see the bottom of it. I am wearing a shirt that I made. I love it. It is double gauze, or also known as bubble gauze. Double or bubble gauze, depending on where you're shopping, what it's referred to. And the pattern is the Scout Tee, I believe it's called, and by Grainline Studios. It is written for woven fabrics, and I've done this pattern before, and I liked it very much. Now, gauze is kind of woven, but because of its structure being so fluffy, I don't know how else to describe it, and such a loose weave, I thought when you sew it, you don't sew it with a standard needle. You sew it with like a ballpoint needle, which is what you use for stretch fabrics. So I kind of treated it like a stretch fabric, even though the pattern's not written for stretch fabrics. I know, I'm breaking all the rules. So what I mean by treated it like a stretch fabric, I washed it and I dried it like I always do. When you're making apparel, you always want to wash and dry your fabric ahead of time. But with knit fabric, you generally don't iron it. Maybe other people do. I generally don't iron knit fabric before I cut out my fabric, before I cut out my pattern. You do iron your wovens, but you don't generally iron your knit. Well, I should have ironed this because it is not knit. It really is woven. And because of, it has so much air in it, because it is such a loose weave, and it's like 2 layers of this very loose weave gauze sewn together to create that bubble, that, you know, that airiness. I should have ironed it because my pattern pieces, I think, were still kind of crunched up. So now the shirt is a lot bigger than even I intended it. So even though I love oversized things, this shirt is even bigger than I thought it was going to be. It is comfy though. Man, is it comfy. I mean, I think I might have to make a lot more of this shirt in this fabric because it is so buttery soft and it's light and it's airy, which is what I wanted for summer. I wanted something with a lot of breathability because, you know, when I'm out running around in the heat, I want to feel light. So that's why I made it. I think I'm going to make more, but after I wash and dry, I think I need to iron them, which seems counterintuitive for bubble gauze or double gauze to iron it, but I think the pattern will lay better and cut out better. I think I'll have fewer issues in the sewing of the garment, and I think I'll have a more true to size shirt at the end. Okay, so that's another thing I made, the shirt. I had made another shirt, but it's already in the scrap bin because it was a disaster. I didn't even finish it. Like, I got halfway through the making and I was like, nope, I don't like it. I'm not doing it. I'm not finishing it. I'm not giving any more of my time to this shirt. Thank you for your service. I will use this fabric for something else. Goodbye. Because sometimes that's what you have to do. Goodbye. Next. All right, so this was very recent, a couple days ago. Actually, I just finished it yesterday. It's a pillow. Isn't that pretty? Let's see if you can see. Very light quilting. Very, very light quilting. Slip-in pillow. I stuffed. Look how full that is. It's just a regular standard pillow, like that you use on your bed, but you see it's shorter. It's a lot shorter than what you would sleep with. So that's why it is so stuffed, but I didn't quite have enough fabric to make it wider. I used like the last of this fabric I had. Basically, one of my friend's daughters is using, so she's going back, she's a sophomore. She's the same age as my son. So they're going back to college for their sophomore year in like a month and a half. And her aesthetic, I think it's hilarious. The way she's decorating, her aesthetic is seaside granny, which I think is hilarious, seaside granny. So I was like, okay, so lots of blues and whites. So I'm like, I think I can make something that is seaside granny. So you tell me, is that seaside granny? I had this fabric. To me, I thought that's going to be perfect for her dorm room. It just felt like it was going to be the right thing, right? Right. Why not? It's a pillow. It'll be soft. It'll be comfy. It's fine. Okay, next. Oh, I'm looking at my table of all my things that I made. All right, so I have 2 patterns for dog poop bags. I know, such is life. Basically, there's the itty bitty boxy bag from Okla Roots, which I love. It's a fantastic pattern. I've made a ton of itty bitty boxy bags. And in her pattern, the way she wrote it, she has a spot for a grommet to be placed so you can make it into a dog poop bag. Here it is, okay? With a grommet for a dog poop bag. I've made this pattern lots and lots and lots of times, and I have made it with the grommet. Not always with the grommet. Sometimes there's no grommet. Sometimes it's just an itty bitty boxy bag. But sometimes it's been with the grommet as a dog poop bag. And I had this kit. It was another kit from So Hungry Hippie that was this vinyl. Isn't this cool vinyl? These are, the next few things are also Hungry Hippie. So this pattern right here in my hand is the itty bitty boxy from Okla Roots. But the vinyl, this rainbow vinyl, is So Hungry Hippie. The zipper with this dog zipper pull, So Hungry Hippie. And look at this cool clasp. I'm obsessed with this clasp. I don't even know what this one's called with this key ring and this like carabiner hook thing. It's totally perfect for like a dog poop bag. Anyways, that was all sent to me in the dog kit. from So Hungry Hippie because I have dogs and I love dog things. And in that kit, oh, sorry, I have a light bulb that goes on and off. It's on, it's off, it's off again. She had her own dog poop bag pattern. And I thought, let me compare and contrast. Let's see. Hers is a little different because it doesn't have those boxed corners for one thing. And it's just a tiny bit smaller. And her grommet placement is different. Let me see. So here is, without further ado, here is the So Hungry Hippie dog poop bag. So it's flatter and the hole is right in the middle of the back. And honestly, both of them, those little rolls of dog poopy bags, they fit in either one, right? I will say this was a little easier to make because I didn't have to box the corners. I think they're both attractive as far as something hanging off your dog leash. I guess maybe if I was making a bunch of bags like for a carnival or, like I was putting them up on my website or something, I might choose the So Hungry Hippie one because as far as patterns go, not having to box the corners does make it faster. It does make it a faster make. I guess I could make the itty bitty boxy and just not box the corners. It would just be a little bit bigger, but then the grommet would be in the wrong spot because the grommet's not in the middle. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Like, totally use your opinion, all opinions are valid. They're both great patterns. I could see using either one. Like I said, I've made hundreds of itty bitty boxy bags because they are it's a fun pattern. I make them often out of clear vinyl because this bag you can put like a credit card and whatnot in. Here, could you put a credit card? Hold on. I have a credit card over here. Let's see, I'm going to try it out without showing my credit card number on the interwebs. I'm just going to try putting it into this dog poop bag to see if it fits. You have to kind of shimmy it in there. It doesn't slide in like as smoothly because again, it's a little bit smaller bag and that's not what it was designed to do. It isn't designed, but you could, with a little bit of moving things around, you could fit it into the So Hungry Hippie bag, where with the boxy bag, probably because of those boxed corners, giving it more space, like a credit card, lip gloss, those kinds of things fit better. So if you're looking at making a bag that's not for dog poop bags, the Itty Bitty Boxy from Oakley Roots is a fantastic little bag. Okay, and you can hang it off, whatever, to put lip gloss, etc. This dog poop bag from So Hungry Hippie, if you didn't put the grommet in, you still could put in a credit card with a little bit of fudging around. It still would go. You just have to work at it a little bit harder, but you could still easily put in like lip gloss or cash and whatever. So, if you're in the market and you want to have a bag pattern that does more than just dog poop bags, there you go. So more things I made. That's my comparison, my compare and contrast. They're both wonderful patterns made by wonderful people. I love them both. There's no competition. They're both wonderful people. Full stop. Okay. All right. I think I have one more I have to reach. Pardon me. The last thing, at least the last thing in front of me, so I think it's the last thing I made in the month of June, because it's been a busy month. So this is still a lot. I'm working on, I mentioned a memory blanket for a friend whose dog passed away. And I had been taking apart the little dog toys and, they were washed, they were dried, and then they get dissected and they're being made into little patches. So this little whale, well, it was a narwhal, see? But when it was dissected, one side got the horn and one side got the hat. But it was like that once upon a time. And then it became that. So what I did after dissecting it and taking it apart, then I sewed it onto a interfacing, turned it inside out, or right side out rather, because it was sewn inside out by cutting the interfacing. Now this has a bit of fusible on it, so when I go to make the blanket, this interfacing will get ironed onto the bag, onto the blanket first, and then sewn around applique stitch all the way around, probably a blanket stitch. I'll do whatever stitch looks best at the time, and it'll get sewn onto the blanket. I'm hoping to make that blanket this week, so it might be this Saturday. On Saturday I sew, or it might be before then. I don't know. Let's see where the week takes us. I think that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I will do my best to include all my notes down below. And now I am going to start working on my next test blocks for my stamp block, because today is the first day of my stamp block quilt along. So I got more testing, more practicing. It's not really a test. I've already tested it. I need to practice. I need to practice. Again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Keep making things. Keep crafting your life, whether it's birthday cakes, quilts, bags, pillows, dog blankets, dog poop bags, whatever it may be. I hope you have joy in your life, crafting your life your way. Thank you so much.